The FIA ETRC arrives in Most in the Czech Republic. The 12th century Hneven Castle towers over this North Bohemian city and its 67,000 inhabitants, the majority of whom are true motorsport enthusiasts. This is the 6th race weekend of the season for the best truck drivers in Europe, and there was no shortage of surprises. There were 4 different winners in 3 days of pure truck racing action, with 2 races each on Saturday and Sunday, and one man at the centre of it all. Front runner in the championship has only one goal: increase his lead by winning 1 or more races here in Most in front of his home fans. There is most definitely a small amount of pressure.
It's only pressure is here at home at Most, because there's a lot of sponsors, a lot of friends, fans comes watch us with me and David, and we would like make the best what we know, and we would like stay on the podium. And when we do this, I think we are very happy.
However, these 3 drivers happen to disagree. Norbert Kish was very unlucky during the reverse grid race in Hungary when he was struck by 2 technical defects. Jochen Hahn always has a good chance of winning in Most. The reigning European champion is level pegging with Norbert Kish in 3rd place in the championship table. And Steffi Halm, who is only 2 points behind after topping the podium twice before.
First, he is extremely strong, but second, we have a lot of pressure. And it's the first time he is before the title. So from this side, I know the feeling. The first title, when it's coming nearly, it's like, oh. So from this side, now we keep cool. I think all it's possible.
Johan and Steffi, who's are very close in the championship with me. So yeah, we have to watch for them and try to beat them, try to be in front of them. And if we succeed with that, then that should be very good.
We are all very close together, always also in the races, in the qualifying. So we will see who have most of the luck and the constant speed during all of the races.
Looking at the overall standings, it's clear that the closest battle at the moment is the one for 2nd place. Most was first rocked by the sound of roaring engines late on Friday afternoon. The parade through the town centre serves as a loud wake-up call, as everybody now knows this weekend the Truck Prix will take place on the 4.2-kilometre racetrack, which opened in 1983 and has hosted truck racing since 1992. Even before the first race has begun, the first title has been awarded. The jinx of the weekend goes to André Kurzim. The young German driver who leads on points in the Promoters' Cup has to abandon his truck at the start line during the Super Pole at midday on Saturday. Engine failure. We've had engine trouble, relatively serious engine trouble, which will be difficult to repair. We're trying to fix it, but we've still got the remaining engine parts from Norbert from last week, and we'll have to see whether we manage to make it to the grid tomorrow. This means that Jose Rodriguez, Kurzim's most formidable opponent, has a good chance of taking the lead in the Promoters' Cup table. He's 16 points behind. The reigning champion, Jochen Hahn, will start the opening race of the weekend from pole position.
Pole positions we have a lot in this season. We work hard in the summer break for the starts, and I'm very optimistic to hold the position before the first chicane, and then we will see the race. So we don't know from yesterday, it's wet condition, we don't know how stable it's the setup in the race, so it's a little bit of lottery, but I think we are on a good way.
Right behind Jochen Hahn is Adam Lachko, the Czech local hero and championship front-runner. But Lachko was not at all satisfied with 3rd place on the grid, as he was 4.1 seconds behind Hahn. Alongside Lachko, 4th is the Spaniard Antonio Albacete, who is pleased with his good performance in qualifying. Steffi Halm is feeling optimistic in 5th on the grid. She hopes to move up at least 1 position over the course of the 11 laps.
in een auto.
Against a stunning backdrop, away they go for race 1. The first battle of race 1 is between Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kisch. The 4-time European champion from Germany wins out against the Hungarian driver in the Mercedes truck. On their tail, Lachko maintains 3rd position, followed by Alberthetti and Halm. The first combination of corners at the Autodome Most is very spectacular. It's called the Eye of the Needle. The corners very tight for truck racing.
The start is very tricky for me. From the first braking after the start, my engine is stopped. I don't know why. And after I must again start through the clutch. And this is the reason I have so much slippery there.
Right behind the big 3 of Hahn, Kisch and Lachko, Steffi Halm battles with Antonio Alberthetti and finally manages to overtake the Spaniard on the first lap, moving her up to 4th in the blue truck, number 44. After that, the field settles into race order. Jose Rodriguez, the Portuguese driver in the MAN truck, started 10th and is struggling. From guest driver Gregor Ostajewski's cockpit, we can clearly see Rodriguez slipping to 14th. Towards the midpoint of the race, Lachko is hot on Kisch's tail, putting him under a lot of pressure before overtaking the Hungarian on the 5th lap. Kisch shows good sportsmanship and the manoeuvre is fair.
I catch him before the Matador's corners and I go front of him, and after I try catching Jochen, but he is fast.
Further back in the field, there is a tense battle for 8th position, which corresponds to pole position in the next race due to the reverse grid regulation. English pair Shane Brereton and Ryan Smith overtake German driver Gert Kurber with no difficulty, as he has turbo lag while upshifting. Ahead of these 3 drivers, Sasha Lentz in number 30 and David Rosetsky in number 33 are fighting it out for 6th position. Smith attacks Brereton. He accelerates just a tad faster, says a quick hello to his fellow Brit, and he knows what's happening. Lentz takes 6th position, then Rosetsky followed by Smith in 8th, while Brereton lags behind. Start of the last lap. Czech driver Rosetsky, who knows this circuit like the back of his hand, having maintained the lap record at Mosh since 2009, attacks Sasha Lentz. After light contact, Lentz speeds away into 6th position. At the head of the field, Jochen Hahn, followed by Adam Lachko and Norbert Kisch, is on his way to his 4th win of the season. He's been waiting 13 races for this, so he's all the more pleased for it.
Congratulations.
We work hard in the summer break and pole position today and win the first race. I'm really happy. You know, it's a good point when you work hard and you win. Well, all is fine.
The classification from race 1. Having finished in 8th place, Ryan Smith will start in pole position in the reverse grid race on Saturday. Adam Lachko, Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kisch take the applause. Another 15 points for Lachko. He's well on his way to what could be his first ETRC title. A mandatory appointment on both days is the autograph signing hour, and even the chance for the fans to talk motors with the drivers. Ryan Smith, the charismatic British entertainer, starts on pole position for the 2nd race of the day. The Englishman celebrated his first ETRC victory on this very circuit exactly 1 year ago. Competition is fierce between him and Sasha Lentz.
It depends what happens. You know, pressure, mistakes, starts. You know, last race they held the start so late. I went directly back to 10th position after the start, but we will be trying really hard, and hopefully, I'm not going to even commit to say a position, but you know, hopefully we can have a good run.
Sasha Lentz is focusing all his attention on the chicane at the end of the start-finish straight and on checking his mirrors. You look all around you and you just hope that you come out of it well, and I'm hoping the same for this race, of course. And then at the end of the race, we'll see how we've done. David Rosecki and Antonio Alberthetti share the second row. Steffi Halm will start in 5th. The Czech fans are crossing their fingers for Lachko, Rosecki and Frankie Wojciech, of course. At the start, the wait for the green light is a long one. The trucks are tightly packed together as they make their way towards the Z-bend. Smith gains the advantage on the run to the first corner. Smith, Lentz and Rosecki come through cleanly, but Steffi Halm gains 3rd position from Rosecki and Frankie Wojciech is forced wide into the gravel. Let's see the whole thing again from Lachko's perspective. His teammate also pulls out wide with a light push from Steffi Halm, and Kish tangles with Alberthetti, but fortunately manages to gather it all up. Alberthetti and Kish are side by side. Kish's truck is pushed from behind, but this comes to nothing, and the Hungarian speeds away in 5th place, managing to maintain his position. Whereas the Spaniard Alberthetti slips down from 4th to 7th following contact with Kish.
After the start, you know, I go straight and then Antonio decides to turn into me. And it was crazy again, like usual, you know, like always the second races are crazy. So it was same crazy this time as well. And yeah, I got a couple of hits here and there.
And it was Kish and David. They make a sandwich. I was in the middle, so I get stuck again. And then I lose quite a lot of positions, you know. Yeah, because I think I couldn't be in the place of Steffi, you know, in 3rd position if I overtake David. But anyway, I choose the wrong line, you know, and that's racing.
Once the field has sorted itself out, Smith is still leading ahead of Lentz and Halm. The German driver, the only woman in the race, attacked Sasha Lentz at the end of the 2nd lap, overtaking him on the inside. Lentz offers relatively little resistance as both drivers compete for the same team. Ryan Smith is in front, then Halm and Lentz, while Rosecki in 4th seems to be holding up the quick pursuing pack of Kish, Lachko, Alberthetti and Halm. From Norbert Kish's camera, it's clear that Lachko is planning an attack at the end of the start-finish straight. Rosecki locks up, and Adam Lachko is grateful. Cheered on by his team, Lachko overtakes Norbert Kish, the victim of David Rosecki's blockade strategy. He can't put up much resistance after the damage he sustained in an early collision with Antonio Alberthetti.
When Adam come on the first braking zone, David practically stopped in front of me in the chicane so that Adam can easily overtake me. And then after that, steering problems started to come, and I had to go slower and slower.
On lap 5, Antonio Alberthetti overtakes Norbert Kish. Shortly afterwards, Jochen Hahn also manages to slip past the 2014 and 2015 champion, forcing Kish down to 7th position. Steffi Halm puts Smith under pressure. With his steering getting heavier and heavier, Norbert Kish decides to retire on lap 8. 3 laps later, and Ryan Smith is the first to see the checkered flag and will be celebrating his 2nd victory in the ETRC exactly 1 year after his first, in front of Steffi Halm.
Steffi, congratulations. Congratulations. You didn't make one mistake. I see you everywhere. Yeah, because it was difficult.
Sasha Lentz just about holds off Adam Lachko before the finishing line, ending up in 3rd place for the 2nd time this season.
Oh, yeah. That was difficult. Steffi drove really. I kept looking in the mirror to see if she made a mistake. She didn't make one mistake, but you know what? To be fair, we didn't make a mistake either. And I just kept it consistent. braked a couple of metres early just to, you know, just to bring it home. But the laps wasn't coming down fast enough. But yeah, I'm delighted. Brilliant feeling.
Let's have another look at the results. Smith, Harm, Lentz, the top three ahead of Lachko, Brzezinski and Alberthetti. None of the big three made it onto the podium. A fantastic success, though, for Sascha Lentz. I was able to drive my own race. I saw Steffi coming and I let her pass me. We're driving together in the team classification, so we have to stick together. Then I saw that Adam was getting closer and closer right up until the last 2 or 3 laps. From then on, the gap remained consistent, and that was when I knew I could do this, and I made no mistakes, so I'm really pleased. Day one comes to an end without the victory from Adam Lachko everyone had expected. For the crowds, a total of over 95,000 over the weekend. Sunday begins with the hope that today Adam Lachko will win. Conditions are more favourable than the day before, and the driver in the number 55 Freightliner posts the fastest qualifying time, so he'll start on pole position. Sharing the front row with him is Jochen Hahn. The Czech pole sitter is optimistic.
The start, it's every time it's very hard, and we will see how I have started, and Jochen and also Antonio, Steffi. It's a really good start every time, and we will see after the chicane.
An explosive battle breaks out in row 3 between Norbert Kish and Ryan Smith, the two brawlers who clashed just a week ago in Budapest. Kish starts 5th, Smith 6th. Lachko in number 55 and Hahn number 1 are ahead from the start, followed by Alberthetti in the red MAN and Hahn in the blue truck. The first 4 all handle the chicane well, but behind there's a lot more pushing and shoving. Lentz sandwiched between Brzezinski on his right and Smith on his left. Then in comes Kish from the left and Smith spins. Let's see that one more time from Smith's onboard view. You can hear 2 loud bangs and then around he goes.
I have a really good start. I beat Norby off the start, but I leave him room on the inside. I go round turn 1, and then all hell breaks loose, and you know, I'm pushed from rear, from the side. My door is ripped off.
The stewards will not let the Brit continue racing, and so he has to retire. Now we see the collision from second victim Gert Kurber's onboard camera. It's a lot like bumper cars at a fun fair. You can see clearly from Brzezinski's rear camera that Kurber runs into Lentz's rear bumper, damaging his own radiator in the process. Kurber has to park up his Iveco as a direct result of the collision.
Ryan Smith hat sich gedreht und jeder musste abbremsen.
Ryan Smith spun and everyone had to brake hard, but you don't see that when everyone's tightly packed and you're tight on your opponent's bumper. So that was a totally normal, stupid racing accident.
Blöder Rennunfall.
Midway through the race, Lachko is ahead of Hahn, while behind them are Alberthetti in the red truck, then Hahn and Kish, the top 5 basically on the same pace. Right now, Frankie Wojciech is the sensational driver in 6th position. The 56-year-old Czech national has raced in all 25 truck racing events at Most and is now racing in the white number 91 rig. Fellow Czech Brzezinski is chasing down both Wojciech and the Portuguese driver Jose Rodriguez, but he was a little too optimistic and he's overtaken by Sascha Lentz. Adam Lachko crosses the line first, finally winning his first race in Most. Jochen Hahn claims 2nd place, followed by Antonio Alberthetti in 3rd. Well on his way towards winning the 2017 title, it's not just Adam Lachko that is happy, but lots of Czech fans.
After the start, when I pass the first chicane, it's more easy because it's Jochen behind me. I do little small gap and I concentrate for the driving, for don't make mistake, and I try make bigger and bigger gap. And when I see it's safe and I driving constantly and safe, and I try finish to the first position at home for our fans, for our sponsors, and It's done.
A heavy burden is lifted from the Czech driver's shoulders, and he even wants to be the fastest at opening the champagne. Lower down on the table, Steffi Halm and Norbert Kish are diligently accumulating points. Sascha Lentz finishes 6th, followed by Wrosecki. Frankie Wojciech is given a 10-second penalty for overspeeding and drops to 10th. Just like the day before, the final race in Most, another reverse grid race, sees a Brit on pole. It's Shane Brereton in number 17. The former national hot rod racer and pickup star will start at the front.
It's a lot of pressure. If we can get a good start and maybe hold David back, David and Sasha take some keeping behind me, but I'm going to give it a good go.
Brereton is joined by the Czech David Wrosecki, who is probably hoping for victory today. Sascha Lentz, who is still waiting for a victory in ETRC, will start the race in 3rd position. And thanks to an orange door borrowed from Lentz, Ryan Smith can now compete in the race, starting at the back of the grid. The start, Shane Brereton wins the first battle against Wrosecki as they race down to the first corner. Wrosecki then loses his position in 2nd to Lentz, who accelerates better out of turn 2. Let's watch that duel from the best viewpoint. Having seen that Sascha Lentz has just overtaken Wrosecki, Steffi Halm then sees Wrosecki regain his position just moments later. The Czech and the German drivers are engaged in a fierce battle. First, Sascha Lentz almost barges Wrosecki off the track, but one corner later and the Czech driver in the Freightliner retaliates. Since this is only his 2nd full ETRC season, the young German driver lacks experience in this area. I think I locked up slightly and he had the outside line. I gave him some space and we went into the right-hand bend. He didn't give me any room, but instead forced me onto the outside and I ended up on the grass. There, you've got no chance. Then the whole field passed me, which is a bit of a shame, but that's motorsport. We can still be satisfied with the weekend as a whole. One lap later, at the same point on the circuit, Wrosecki in 2nd position, followed by Steffi Halm in 3rd. The Czech old hand versus the attacking German. Wrosecki shuts the door mercilessly, but Steffi Halm almost forces him off. Each driver has their own contrasting interpretation of this situation.
I have some action with the Steffi. One time we connect together because I feel in the mirror it should be okay. There is place for me and was about 5 centimeters less.
He just didn't leave me any room. I even drove right up onto the edge of the track. We were both lucky that it didn't end the race for either of us. For me, this isn't what I look to do when I race. Of course, he is slower than me and he defended well, but the manoeuvre just wasn't good at all. Shane Brereton is enjoying a lonely race at the front, extending his lead lap by lap, while Wrosecki, Halm and Kish battle each other for the 2 available spots on the podium. The British driver is the first to see the checkered flag, winning an ETRC race for the first time in his career. He is followed closely by David Wrosecki in 2nd, and in a heart-stopping finale, Steffi Halm finishes 3rd, 38 thousandths ahead of Norbert Kish. This victory is the icing on the cake for the modest Brit Brereton, who also won 3 races this weekend in the Promoters' Cup.
It was a lonely race. I just knew if I bogged the Bagheera down on the start, I could get the run on him. Don't break too late into the first, put up with maybe a punch from behind, and I managed to do it. And then I just settled, and I just kept looking in the mirrors and they were scrapping. Oh, brilliant.
10 drivers are within 12 seconds of each other, with positions 2 to 10 covered by less than 5 seconds. It's no ordinary result in race 4. And the top 3 are Shane Brereton, David Wrosecki and Steffi Halm. In the overall classification, Adam Lachko is first after 6 out of 9 race weekends with a 60-point buffer between him and Jochen Hahn. Steffi Halm is in third, then Norbert Kish fourth. The two British competitors top the second page with Ryan Smith 11th and Shane Britton 12th. The final third of the season starts at Zolder. Round 7 of the FIA ETRC takes place at the tradition-rich Belgian circuit between Aachen and Brussels, where, once again, vast and excited crowds are expected.